Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Dark Shadow here, and today I got you guys another LEGO review. So this is the LEGO Batcave, the Penguin and Mr. Freeze Invasion set number 7783 with 1,075 pieces, and it retailed for $90 back in the day. This was originally supposed to be a 2006 set, but it's been initialed as a 2007 set. I was very lucky to have this. It is a used set and it does not include all the figures. The two figures I'm missing from the set is Mr. Freeze and Robin. And that is pretty much it. Everything else has been accounted for and it looks absolutely incredible. This is by far like the greatest Batcave set of all time. And I will stick to that, and anyone who wants to argue about it can comment down below of why that's not true. But yeah, this was $90 back in the day. Now, if you take a look, if you go to Lego.com and check out the newest one, I believe it's Clayface Invasion. That set's smaller than this one by size, but not by, I believe, by piece count. It's much larger, I think. I'm not for sure entirely. But yeah, that's $100. This is was only $90 back in the day. Well, I did get this for $100 less than what it usually goes for on eBay. But yeah, without further ado, let's check everything out. And I'm going to start off with everything with the Robin. I'm just going to call this basically like a jet ski, because that's what it reminds me of. And yeah, at least this did come with the set, and I was actually really happy to get it as well. But yeah, there's not really much to it. There's like a turret up here and a little steering right here as well. It's a nice little design that comes with this set. Like, another thing is that a lot of like the newest Batcaves and stuff like that only have like one vehicle to go with the actual set. This has three. This literally has three of them. I think the only one that I recall that had more than just one vehicle was the Batcave from the original TV show from the 1960s. I believe that's the only one, and I believe also the Lego Batman movie also had more than one vehicle in it as well. But yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the next vehicle, which is Penguin Submarine. And this is pretty nostalgic for me because I've always wanted like this way back in the day, because I always played the original Batman video game, like the Lego Batman video game for the Wii. And like this was one of the main bosses in that video game. And yeah, you can even go check it out yourself. I'm pretty sure there's like a gameplay walkthrough online or something. But yeah, it has a few multiple features. Like these can be able to go up and down, like the fence in the back. And this can be able to turn. It doesn't have any like turrets that go out like a stud shooter, or well, no, they didn't even have stud shooters back then. They had flick fire missiles and stuff like that. But you can be able to open this up as well. And if you can see right in there, this is for being able to scope out the area. You can push this up and down any way you like it, and you can be able to I mean, that's pretty much it. There's just like a handle and stuff in there. Also, the reason why I'm showing off the vehicles first is so I can be able to get those out of the way and then go straight to the minifigures, which is kind of new for me because I usually do the minifigures first. Like, this is just a really huge set, so I'm just going to try and go through it as fast as I can. So yeah, hopefully this all goes well. I'm just going to call this the Bat jet ski, because I have no idea what this is truly called. I never really understood the name of it or even had an idea of what it is truly called. But yeah, it's a really interesting and cool design. And I think this is basically used to counteract Mr. Freeze and his freeze gun. I'm pretty sure, I'm not really entirely sure about the entirety of this vehicle itself, but I'm pretty sure it's just basically to combat Mr. Freeze. I think. I wasn't really for sure back in the day what this was used for, but that's the only thing I got up my sleeve. And there's not really anything like turrets on there. It has these basically like miniguns on the front. And this was back in the day before Legos went to stud shooters. So, speaking of which, let's go on to the minifigures and check those out. So the first minifigure that we have right here is the Batman, which was, I believe these were only used for, I know it was used for the Batmobile set. This set, no, it wasn't used for Killer Croc or the Batwing. Was it just those two? I think. Leave a comment down below if this was like those two were the only ones that I can think of. Oh yeah, and also Arkham Asylum used this one as well. It was those three, I believe. Leave a comment down below if that's true or not, because I would really like to know if that's true. But yeah, here's the front of him, and they used the original Mark I of the cow piece. And there's his headpiece right there. It's in pretty good condition. Like, the only problem is this part right here. It does show some wear and tear, including a little crack right there, if you can see that. But it's alright. It's still a great figure overall, and I'm probably just going to display this, hopefully somewhere really safe. But yeah, it doesn't have any back printing though, because way back in the day they didn't really use any like back printing whatsoever. I think it did change with, hang on, I want to check. I want to check one of these original figures from way back in the day. Did they use, okay. So it changed around, I think, 2009 to 2010 when they went to actual back printing. I might be wrong, I have no idea. Alright, next figure we have right here is Bruce Wayne. Actually, there were pieces back in the day that did actually have back printing and leg printing as well. I can't remember which figures. I remember one from Adventurers, which was the Pharaoh itself, because they did, I know they did leg printing, but I'm not for sure. Leave comments down below about everything I'm talking about, because I'm not really entirely for sure. Maybe one day when I get those sets, then I'll be able to know for sure. But anyway, actually talking about the minifigure itself, this is Bruce Wayne, and he's actually in his really dark blue suit. And I do have a comparison of the latest one. So I'm just going to set these two side by side. So basically the main differences is basically the head printing, as well as like the actual color and design of the suit itself. Personally, I'm more of I feel like it would be more so like putting that over to there, like this headpiece over onto this one, then it would work really well. But that's just my own personal opinion. Overall, it looks pretty nice itself, and no back printing as well. But yeah, let's just put him over here. Next we have Alfred, and this is probably my favorite incarnation of Alfred whatsoever. I know they did it in the Lego Batman movie, but I feel like this one is a better looking one whatsoever, because I feel like back in the day, I feel like these were created based on the Batman animated series, and this pretty much looks exactly like him. But yeah, I think an updated version of this one, but with the bald head piece that was used for Alfred in the new movie, I think that would be a fantastic minifigure to have. And yes, no back printing, but there was head printing on the back as well, which is actually pretty nice to have. Next we have, also I'm doing a pretty thorough review because there's quite a lot to go off of. And here we have the Penguin right here. He's actually in pretty good condition overall. And this is one of the first, no, this was not one of the first ones to use miniature legs because Yoda and the Ewoks were the first ones to use them. But yeah, no back printing. He has a top hat and his umbrella that he uses. But yeah, overall, this is actually a pretty good shaped minifigure. Even though this moves quite a bit back and forth, I don't see any like scratches or piece breaking off or anything. But it's still in pretty good condition, so I'll just keep it at that. Next, we have the Mr. Freeze henchman, and he basically comes with these two guns. There's a Tommy gun and basically, I don't know what to call this. I really don't. I'm just gonna say pistol. But yeah, like way back in the day, what I love the most is that they had like each one of the henchmen that were used in these sets basically had a color representing like the main baddie of that set or who they were with. Like there was I gotta think. Oh yeah, Joker had basically like this purple type color for his henchmen. They didn't really add but like in the Lego, sorry, I'm speaking too much. For the Lego Batman video game, they basically did like for the Riddler, it was basically like this really dark green, like this one right up here. If you can see that, it basically was that type of green. Next, we have these three different types of penguins that were involved with it, and yeah, this was like one of the first times they actually add this with the penguin, and I think it was like the coolest ever. Hopefully one day I can be able to collect all those original Batman sets from 2006 to 2008 because that would be amazing. The one I would really love to get though is the tumbler that was used back in the day. There's also this ice piece that was used. It was really interesting that like there was a lot of moldings and stuff that were put into this, and it was really interesting to see that. It basically looks like if you put like a white, a light blue, and a dark blue like crayons into this thing and just blended it up and then put it as a molding, and bam, there you go. But yeah, on to the actual set itself. I'm gonna try and move all these figures out of the way, and yes, I'm gonna display them throughout so it could be able to get a better viewing of this. And I'm going to move these vehicles out of the way because this is a really huge set. I'm going to pick up my camera for one of the first times ever to actually show it through. So the first thing we have right here is basically like this stand you can put any type of land vehicle on, and if you want to as well, you can put on an air vehicle as well. And to show for that, I have my 2012, I believe this is 2012, I might be wrong, who knows. I have my 2012 Batmobile that was used back in the day, and you can basically turn this around as much as you like. Hang on. It keeps doing that. I really hate that. I'll fix it one day, if I can be able to figure out what's actually wrong with it. But yeah, you can move this around as much as you like, and once it's in position of that ledge right there, then you can be able to move this down like that. But yeah, it's just a small little feature, which is like one of the coolest parts about this set. One day, I really hope I can be able to fix this. I don't know what's wrong with it. Like, all the pieces are all together. Maybe it's just, hang on. Let's see if that works. It does move quite a bit slowly. It would be nice to have it like motorized so you can be able to move it even faster. Okay, I think it's working now. Alright, sweet. Yeah, it just keeps doing that for some reason. It is a really old set, but hang on. Sometimes it stops, sometimes it doesn't. But it's one of the nicest inclusions to this set, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Let's go on to this side, which is basically, it has like, I believe 3 different types of features. One of them being you can be able to keep here. Like for instance, if there's going to be like this henchman going to be right here. If you pull back right in here, it should be able to fall down and make this henchman fall down into there. As so. Sorry, It's an old set, but it still works somewhat quite well. Based on like the actual, like based on everything that's been going on with this set and the amount of time it took on this, it's still pretty worth it. It's just not in like the greatest condition. If it was like 100% sealed and everything, that'd be perfect. But you can be able to place this figure into here. It's basically like what they do nowadays, where it basically like the drop down area. It's basically like that, but instead you just flip this over and then there's the bat suit right into there. Here, just gonna try and show it as such. So it basically just switches out the actual figure itself. Alright, on to this area. It's basically like this walk-in area to get to the Batmobile or any type of land vehicle or vehicle that you would like. And there's just these little tool pieces down there that were used back in the day. Alright, now and up here, there's so many Easter eggs, it's absolutely incredible. So basically the first thing is that this Bat computer is still like the greatest to me, and it always will be. And it's nothing 100% complicated, it's just basically like this piece right here on a sticker, this piece on a sticker, this piece on a sticker. It's actually pretty well aligned for a sticker though, which is actually really nice. So some of the things that are included into this is basically this hidden compartment right here. You can be able to place your bat tools, bat gadgets, and everything like that. For instance, we have basically these handcuffs that were used back in the day for the Batman villains. I don't know why this was included into there, but it's basically like this thing you could be able to put on basically this right here, and it basically slides down the figure. Then there was this. I'm just going to call this the reverse battering because it never really got a name. Like, I really never understood what its true purpose was. And then there was just a batarang right here. They actually did have a lot of batarangs back in the day. Like, they put like a ton of them in there. Nowadays it's just like one. Let me try and close this. Oh, I'm screwing up. 1 second, and perfect. Alright. So there's 2 chairs on the top of this area right here with these small little bats on there. And you could be able to place Alfred on top of these if you would like. Or you can even place Bruce Wayne or Batman on them. Or even Robin, even though I do not have him. I'm going to take Bruce Wayne out. Set him on top there. Some of the other inclusions in here is basically this waiter's tray that you can be able to place these glasses on top of there or something different if you'd like. Then there's a small little Easter egg of the dinosaur that Bruce Wayne always keeps within the Batcave itself. It's actually much taller and like really large in itself, but yeah, it's usually that really brightish green coloring. Another thing that's added is this right here, which is basically a Joker bomb that was used back in the day, and it's really sad that they don't really use those anymore, even though I think it's one of the best ones ever. And there's supposed to be a sticker right there and right there, but since it's a really old set, it's alright, even though there's not really on there as well. Maybe I can be able to buy the stickers online or something and then include them on there. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that this could be able to go into the back there, and as you can see a few of my Lego sets in the back. But yeah, it could be able to be opened up like this. It's basically like, this is basically going to be like a sewer tunnel. And there's also this dumbbell and some weights on. Dumbbell? What am I talking about? Basically, you can put some weights onto here, and then Bruce Wayne is just going to be right over here lifting weights. By the way, just saying, this is all $90 back in the day. Now, sealed, I believe it can go for $500 to $1,000. Pre-owned usually goes to 200 to around 300 at least. And no, I did not spend that much on there. I was actually very lucky to find this for a very, very small price, and it was worth it. The only loss was pretty much just no Robin or Mr. Freeze, but it's completely fine. It saved me so much money. But yeah, and here's this on top, and you can be able to place a figure on top of there. I'm just going to keep using Bruce Wayne as a representative right there. You'd be able to place them on top there, and you basically move it by this. You can move this up and down, or you can move it back and forth, and then you could be able to shoot out this net like here. And it got caught on this. But yeah, you can be able to shoot out this net on top of there, and you can be able also, I'm going to try and block it. It basically shoots out like that. Here, let me try that. Let me try that again because I don't know if I got it or not. Alright. Come on. Alright. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Man, I miss those things so much. It was used so much back in the day. Including this was used on the original Batmobile as well, on the front center. So many memories. Man, I wish I got all those sets. But yeah, anyway, there's also this dock area on the bottom here with one of the original mouse designs that was used back in the day, or rats. And it's just really nice to look at. It's really nice to have. This set is just so nostalgic for me because I always saw these sets on the shelves, never got them because I was a huge Batman fan, don't get me wrong, but I always looked past them or never really saw them for what they were in its own entirety. And I I was a huge Batman fan, don't get me wrong, but I always went for castle sets or something like that, and it just really made me sad I never got any of these until now. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, I forgot about one more thing. The staircase right here is still one of the greatest designs ever, and I will love this for its entirety. Oh yeah, there's also this sword right here. I don't really know what it's supposed to represent. Maybe his time when he went to Tibet and trained, or it's basically having a reference to maybe Ra's al Ghul. I'm not really for sure. It really didn't say what that's supposed to be represented for. But yeah, that is pretty much it. That's a really long review. But oh my gosh, this set is just worth it in its entirety. If you could be able to find this on sale, I would 100% recommend getting it, because this is definitely worth it. Even back in the day, this was huge. Even nowadays, it's still huge. It's even more huge than it was back in the day. And it's still, by far, my favorite Batman set ever. Actually, it's my favorite set ever, and I was so happy to get this, and hopefully I can be able to get some more of these sets one day. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So, well, thank you all so much for watching for so long. I hope you'll enjoy. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more great content. And I will talk to you all later. Dark Shadow out.